Alright, some more NECA, The Last Ronin for you. We got the set. We talked about it during our last video, but it was a Target exclusive. It came out in Haulathon. It was in week 3. Didn't know where this was going to fall. Was getting a little frustrated because most of the releases were re-releases or releases of exclusives that we were getting again. And this kind of is a release of an exclusive, but just differently packaged. So continuing with The Last Ronin, we get what is called here a Troop Reinforcements Synja Patrol. And it's going to be both the Synja Patrol Bot and the Synja or Elite Synja Patrol Bot. So we showed you the Elite Synja last time, so you get to check out on that. So while these are both previously released, these were both Best Buy exclusives, these are slightly different, and I'll show you what we mean by comparing them to the other ones in the line. They're just little tweaks on the characters, so they're not exactly a one-for-one copy. But yeah, as you can see, the packaging is really nice. It's this larger deluxe packaging, which I'm kind of hoping the Fugitoid comes in something like this and has a lot of accessories with him. And you can see on the left, you got your Synja bots, your Elite Synja bots on the other side here. You can kind of see them in these little vats here on both sides, and then just some action shots on the back. What I also like about the packaging, and I'll give you more of a close-up, is right here, it almost is like a little display. You have this artwork of some tile and walkway here, while you see the characters in the background in the window here. So why don't I bring you in, we'll crack this up, and we'll check out these great figures. All right, well, this is the first larger pack we've seen for the Last Ronin figures. Everything's come in sort of a one-character version at this point, so this is the first time we're getting multiple characters, unless you count the little pack-in Mousers on the other figures, which I don't really count. So let me, again, give you that closer-up view here of the little background display. I think this is really cool that they give you this little bottom. Just something colorful just to help you world build a little bit. And then here we have our characters. So you can see the Synja Elite over here. And what you'll see is different is he has a holster, like the Synja Patrol Bot did originally, but this Synja Patrol Bot does not have a holster. So it's kind of like they switched the bottom half almost. And as I was telling you last time, they're both very similar in that fashion. I think they're almost like a repaint of each other on the leg down. On the waist up, it's slightly different. I think some of the parts in the midsection were the same, but the head was definitely resculpted, the neck was resculpted, so there were just a little bit of variation there. But they could easily just repaint all that. You're still getting all the Mousers that came with it. So the spiders came with the Elite, the Ablong sort of flying ones came with the Elite, and the small ball ones came with the Synja, the standard Synja. So the standard gun came with the standard Synja. The sword and the sheath all came with the Synja. The Elite had a sword and sheath. He had this rifle. They both had sets of hands. But you'll also notice, while they both have their heads, the cracked cyborg head that was synonymous in the comic book with the Synja now comes with the Synja Elite. So you're having a different accessory that wasn't with the standard release. So we'll bring out the other ones at the end of the video, and we'll compare and contrast so you guys can check them out and see what's really different here about these. But that's really it. I kind of pointed them out to you already, but we'll have them side by side, so maybe there's something I'm not noticing until I get them both in my hands at the same time. So again, you got to cut this guy out. He's in there with all the little holders. Now the other thing, I think they got me somehow. He's stuck in there. I think there might be one around his head. Yep, watch out for that one. It's trapped up around the head. Now these were only available through the Haulathon on Target's website, and if you missed them, they are sold out. So you end up having to get them through the secondary market, and they're quite pricey. These were $60 at retail, and I think they're tracking around $100 right now on the secondary market. So you can see he's very similar to his standard release. He doesn't have any features other than he's missing that belt that had his holster on it. And they just gave it to the Synja bot, or the Synja Elite. So they're just, I guess, giving him a little more value. I mean, the Synja Elite was just released, so he's not like he's been around for a while, like the Synja Patrol Bot has. So I guess they really want to give you something different here. The other thing I noticed that is not included are the little patrol designations, and I'll show you what those are with the other figures. We did that in our video as well. Those were in the comic. The different units had different sort of symbols on there, and they kind of matched up with what the heads they were wearing too. So the grill head versus the visor head. This one only has the visors, both versions, so that's kind of interesting. The Synja Elite has a grill and he has the visor, but the Synja bot just has two versions of the visor head, which is kind of interesting. They didn't include the grill head at all, so we'll check that out here. So you basically have this more flatter visor head, and this was one of the variants in the book as well that had this little thing on top. So it's nice that we're getting all the variants this time. And if you have any stickers left over from your Synja patrol bot that you want to use for the designations, you could probably do that right now. So this is kind of rounding that out. I don't see the stickers in here, so I'm pretty sure they did not include them. But you got two, and each one you ordered from Best Buy. So this is a great way to sort of round that out and bring that back full circle if you want to add some on. And there's his head, and I believe this head came with the other one. We'll check them all out. But what is different here is this head. So the cracked one with the gear on the side. And my guess is this is a repaint of the one that came with the Synja Patrol Bot, but I'll check that out in a moment and we'll see if it's the same. We'll compare it to the two. But the other accessories, the sword and the sheath that you could pop on the back, this should be the same as the other one, as should the one that came with the Synja Patrol Bot. This should be the same. And yeah, oh, that one was tricky to get in there. And then same with the gun, same with the handgun. So all these should be the same accessories, nothing different there. And of course we're getting that spider again, which I really love that spider. He came out great. I'm really excited about they made that, and that you get more of them. That was my big complaint about the number 2 figure for Last Ronin, the unarmored. He comes with one of the Mauser dogs, but you want like 5 or 6 of those, and you can't unless you buy 5 or 6 of them. So hopefully I'm hoping the Fugitoid pack comes with just like a whole assortment of Mausers too. That would be great. So other than that, the only other thing are the hands, and we already showed you how the hands worked on that in the video, so I don't want to double back on that, adding another look at the hands. But he comes with these claw hands. They come with fists, and they come with weapon holding hands. So that's basically the assortment you get there. So you could just stick that here in the belt, or you can make them use it. So the other thing I always had with these was the stiff joints, so I'm hoping that wasn't the case. The Elites weren't that bad. What was really bad was the Synja Patrol. Oh, there we go. The Synja Patrol bots. I broke one of the arms just trying to get it to bend, just because it was so stiff. It just was not going to give. So I don't know if they're using the same. I'm assuming this is going to be the same based on the Best Buy ones. So hopefully that's not the case here. This one bent, okay, good, functional arm. And this one bent too. All right, I did not break the legs this time. But you can see they still have that same articulation in the arms and the elbows, in the waist, and the legs here. And they have those great contours for that comic look. I especially love the red visor with that little splash of white for the light effect. The lanky bodies they have, they kind of look like zombies. I love this. So these are great characters. They're only on a couple pages at the beginning of the comic. I was looking for a graphic novel was the word I was looking for, but they came out really great, and they're great characters. And they're fun to include in there. Nice to army build these guys finally. So I just wish that this was a general release and not a special timed release, because you'd want to get a lot of these guys. And they still come in roughly at the same price point. Like I said, this was $60, so it was $35 for each of these individually. So you're saving about $10 in getting them together, and you're getting new versions of them with all the Mausers. All right, let me bring the other ones in, and we'll compare and contrast what's different here. Okay, I always love comparing and contrasting things. So this was our original box release. It came with 2 heads. It came with the busted head for the Synja Patrol Bot. It came with the sidearm, and then it came with the katana sword with the sheath. So here is the one from the new pack, and you can see the visor on there has a little bit of a different paint than the visor originally did here. So you can see this head has the visor, the little splash of paint on it. It doesn't have the mouthpiece here. That was more synonymous, I want to say, with the the Synja patrol bot who had this head set up. Whoops, had this head set up. So it's kind of like they took the Synja patrol bot head and painted it blue and gave it to this guy. So that was the difference there. And the other head being this head that just has this little mark with the faceplate on the front, which is very similar to the one from the Synja patrol bot you can see right here that came in the Elite Synja patrol bot pack. It's like they took the ones that came out with the most recent release and painted them over and issued them to this new guy, because you can see the original two heads here. We had the no antenna with the double grill, and we had a antenna with just a smooth face and the faceplate there. So that was kind of the big change. So with the new Synja one, the Elite Synja, we have the same one that we had on this guy here, but now painted white. And then we have the other one that we had on this guy here, but now painted white. So they swapped the heads essentially and gave each of the other one opposite heads. And they swapped the belt onto the Elite. So basically, they just did a color swap. They took the figure, painted it, the white version of it, with no accessory belt or anything like that, and they issued it as this figure here, and gave them the same heads that came with this guy. And same here. I mean, the head and the neck are tooled, but it's just this color swap. This time they gave him a belt. Now the belt is a little bit different. It's similar, but almost not quite. This one has a, oh, maybe it is similar. I'm just missing something here. Something fell off of this guy. There was a little piece here. It's not supposed to come out. It must have got dislodged at some point. So yeah, it's the same figure. Sorry, they just did a color swap. I think in the website description it said alternate colors or variant colors. So they literally just painted the two differently. The neck is completely different, but the rest of the body should be the same. So they just did a color swap. So that's really the explanation here for the two differences in the figures and the heads. But those were the major differences. Again, here is the head for the Synja. Here's the head for the Elite. Exactly the same, just a color swap. So that was kind of what we got here. We didn't get a newly tooled character at all. We just got a color swap with the other two characters and makes them look kind of new, gives them a little bit of variety. And I think there was a head like this in the comic. I'll go double check that had this for the Synja bot. So I guess this is great to have one of those in there as well. What I would have loved is if they included the vests, because we talked about that last time when we were doing the Elite Synja Patrol bot. There were some that had vests. There weren't like rank designations or insignias on their chest, but they had vests, these black vests. Some of them were like this, some of them had black vests. Some of them could fly and had arm blades. Like there were variations of the Elite Synja Patrol bots. So it would have been nice to at least get the vest to throw on there. But yeah, they did not include that. They literally just did a color swap of the two. You have all the accessories that were included originally, and that's it. So you have him. This is the Synja Patrol bot, but now he's white. And this is the Elite Synja Patrol bot, but now he's blue. There was, I know it looked like a little darker when we saw promo shots for this package, like this was more gray, black, and I said there was no gray, black Synja bot. It had to been in the shadows or something like that. It looked a little darker, but they didn't do that. They just kept it the same color, so everything works out. So yeah, that is your complete look now at the new Synja Elite, or Elite Synja Patrol bot, and the regular Synja Patrol bot with just a color swap. All right, well, we solved the mystery of these new figures that aren't really new figures. They are just a color swap of existing figures. So if you did miss out on this pack, I mean, don't stress it too much. They are not newly tooled. They are not new figures. They are simply just a color swap of existing figures. It is great to have these two with all their accessories, with the extra Mausers, for $10 less than you'd be getting them individually. But if you want them, you could still get each of them from Best Buy. They were Best Buy exclusives. They were both $35 a piece. I mean, look for a sale. Maybe you get them a little bit cheaper, but you can still Army build the two that way. You just won't be able to get the color swap version, I mean, in this fun little reinforcements pack. But they are not new characters, so do not stress that if you're a completionist, you don't have every single new character. They're not new. So it's great to help you build your little army here. It's great to have a couple more of these guys. on the shelf, and it's not a bad price point. But like I said, it seems to be sold out now. I don't know if they're going to restock it, but I think that was it. So if you missed out, you missed out. So that is all for our Last Ronin looks for now. There's no new releases on the horizon, so we'll just keep our eyes open. We're going to have more NECA, because there were some other great things in that haulathon that were Turtles related. So you should be able to figure out what that is based on that comment, but we'll have a look at those guys soon as well. More Transformers. I promise I'll get to the rest of those vintage animation color Transformers, so we'll be getting to those. And we have more surprises in store as well. We'll have some more getting back to Indiana Jones, so keep tuning back for that as well. So that is all for this time. As always, like, subscribe, and follow. See you guys next time.